Recording is started, same as per usual. It'll just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about. And also, yes, YouTube, I am congested and sick.
Get them off me! Powered up! Dahi wieder. Ow! Oh! Damage increase.
All
I
right.
think in this, I did use voice comm to say that there was a soldier behind and our Anna needed help. And I know that was a little bit risky there because if that soldier had had any better aim, I would have been dead there.
Yeah. So here we kind of cancel it in the middle of the open. That's the big thing, right? So either we could have just stayed high ground, would probably be the best option because we can. Anna's within our beam range here, so we can probably stay high ground. Or if you're going, fully commit and come over to the Anna, and then you can fly back to your team from there. But we kind of hover straight in the middle, and then that makes it super easy for Soldier to shoot at us. Additionally, we can go back 10 seconds. Target priorities. Who should you be on? Out of your team, who's your best
Bastion.
pocket target? Yeah, there you go. So here we're starting on Widowmaker when we probably want to be on Bastion. Bastion's just the better target.
I think my line of thought there was like in case our Widow could get like a headshot on a squishy, and then I would have gone back to Bastion there.
So maybe starting off for like the extreme range and then swapping over to
Mhm.
the Bastion. I think
Yeah.
that's a little bit more acceptable.
Get them off me.
Though we also like if that's our plan of action, being more so like towards the edge to where we can easily peek Bastion. Just because it didn't appear as though that was the case because we're not really looking to move towards Bastion even after they've pushed out a spawn, right? So we're even backing up, right? So that's just making sure if that is the case that we're peeking back towards Bastion.
Damage increase.
Here, I think in this one I was struggling to get my beam onto Bastion, which is why it keeps swapping.
Damage increased.
Yeah, and then I think that might be the pillar messing with it. But then also like we've gone over in the past 2 sessions, I would imagine, right? We went over beam sensitivity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd imagine this is the pillar messing with it because you swap. And you also make sure when you're on him that you're not clicking off of him, right? That's another thing. Make sure holding it down, or I'm not sure, or if you use hold or toggle.
Damage increase.
But yeah, just make sure we're staying on top of him.
That's better.
Here, I still kept repeating to the team that Anna needs help.
Let me get you patched up.
So I was trying to make sure that Anna was like secure.
Mm-hmm.
And then in here, like the tanks finally listened.
Taking damage.
I'm taking care of you.
As a little tip for you, Anna yelling "taking damage" means that she took damage. Sorry, I'm just saying. Here she yells out the voice line, "taking damage," and then we kind of take a minute to turn around.
No, I think it was because I was trying to tell my team that someone was behind us because I think they swapped to swapped to Sombra and I heard Sombra hacking something. So I was just trying to make sure that the team knew that there were people behind us. So I was going like a little bit back and forth here because I didn't know what I was supposed to do when everyone was where there were two people behind us. And then the team was still coming from the front. So
Unsure in what avenue? Like what are you unsure of what you should be doing?
I was like unsure, like should I just ignore the people in the back and just focus on the ones coming from the front? Or like should I just kind of keep it in my back of my mind that someone might be coming from behind and then
Okay.
let the team know?
What happens if you ignore the people behind you?
Oh,
What happens if you do that?
well, they can come in and like kill us from the back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What happens if you focus
But
the people behind you and not the people on the front.
well, then that kind of separates our team into two, so no one's really focusing anywhere. Uh, and it's like I had this one game on Hanamura this week on competitive as well that we won. That the enemy had a hog that had come through like the gates in in the
Hmm.
front, um, and he was kind of stuck uh, behind us, so he couldn't regroup his team. But because we were so hyper aware of him being there, he couldn't really do anything. So it was a constant like 5 versus 6. So it was like I thought, well, maybe it could be the same situation here. That if I just ignore them, it's more going to be like a 4 versus 6 because there's two in the back.
Okay.
But like yeah, so I wasn't really sure
So
like
if
what
you
would be the.
ignore them, right, then
Mhm.
as you said, they come in and they shoot you all in the back and then you die. Or Anna, because Anna's behind you, then Anna dies. Okay.
Mhm.
If you pay attention to them fully, then you're ignoring the rest of your team who's on the front line, and then they could end up dying, right? And then if you just pay attention to everything and don't focus on anything in particular and just wait for something to happen, as really
Yeah.
you should be on mercy, is you're waiting for things to be happening, then you're going to be able to be more aware of your surroundings, right? So you don't want to hyper focus and tunnel vision on either, because if you tunnel vision on either, then they run away for free with damage. So
Mhm.
make sure you're just being aware of your surroundings and then focusing on what needs to be focused on.
Yeah.
Healing stream engaged.
So like again, I'm just like making sure that Anna is alive and safe.
Hmm.
Just what I needed.
Let's get you back out there.
Okay,
Heroes
once again,
never
notice how
die.
we're pocketing the Widowmaker over the Bastion.
You
So I
should
probably
be.
recommend
Good
putting more
performance,
attention to the Bastion than the Widow.
Well done. Heilstrahl aktiviert. Damage boost engaged.
Okay, engaging gameplay.
Damage amplified.
No, nothing happens in the start, and then suddenly they just completely roll us, if I remember correctly. Because this was
You
one of
should be
those
at
teams
peak
where I thought,
performance
like,
levels.
nothing's really happening.
No one can hide
And then
from my
our team
sight.
just completely
You
fell
needed a
apart.
doctor?
And I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm going to
60
die
seconds remaining.
soon. Because this is the game that we ended up losing, and like, I mean, it's almost uh, less than a minute left, and then
I've got you. Damage boost
So they go for an
engaged.
EMP. You get 2 picks. Widowmaker dies from behind.
and then
Uh-oh.
I got yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what's the issue there? I think that hopefully this one should be a little bit more obvious.
I wasn't paying attention to my surroundings. My
Mm-hmm.
Kree was behind me.
Yep. So audio awareness, visual
Damage boost
awareness,
engaged.
right? We see, we glance back. If we're looking at the top of our screen, it shows us somebody's on cart. We can hear someone's behind us shooting at us. Someone shoots Widowmaker. Widowmaker's not even peeking down main, so if Widowmaker's dying, that means someone's behind us, right? We're also rezzing when we see a Sombra
Diva.
Diva over there as well. So here we're just,
Let me.
there's a lot of people surrounding us. Probably not time to res, and then that puts the fight from a like 5v4 still, and then now it's a 4v4. So that's our impact on losing that fight if we do lose it.
Where does it hurt?
Enemy in my
I'm with
sight.
you.
Just what I needed. 10 seconds remaining.
Heilstrahl aktiviert.
Okay. I think that too often are we
10 seconds
making
remaining.
it so that when we go and when we go and heal somebody, we put ourselves in a position to where if we try to heal anybody else who needs it, we're going to need to take like 2 seconds to actually acquire the next target. So you can come in, you can come and look at this, right? Where
Where does it
we're
hurt?
we're coming down, we're healing these guys, right? And we go up to the Widowmaker, but when we go back up to the
Enemy in my
I'm
Widowmaker,
with
sight.
you.
then watch how deep in we start playing, where we're
10
not.
seconds
You
remaining.
probably want to be hovering towards the edge here. Right, look at their team composition. If you hover right here, are you gonna die?
No.
No. So we're kind of sitting really far back, and then right here we can go boop. I see my team, boop. Right. Whereas here it's gonna take us 2 seconds to actually acquire anybody, and in 2 seconds somebody could be dead. So here we do peek back, and then we do the same thing. We back up, we go for Widowmaker, and we like fully back all the way back around the corner. So now Reinhardt's critical HP, and we see he's critical, and we're also not peeking him. We're kind of backing up really slowly. So Reinhardt ends up dying when maybe we could help save him. And then I've noticed that as well before in the past. You can see that, for example, when we were on Widowmaker and we said we were going to go to the Bastion at the very start, we were like really deep in. So make sure that when you're positioning, you're trying to be safe, but you want to make sure that you're positioning yourself to where you can easily access as many people as possible on your team. Right.
Yeah.
I think we've that's something we've discussed before, right? But that means
Yeah.
that we're putting we're with the Widowmaker, we're putting ourselves closer to the edge or closer to the wall, so we're able to actually peek and heal our team at a moment's notice.
Healing stream engaged.
Like I was trying to think there, like could I go for a res or not? But then because there were so many people there, and then there was a bastion behind me that I did not realize.
Yeah. So here we try to go for the rest, right? So right now it's a 4v6. We could possibly stall it out. We have closer spawns. We have your ult. Though this is probably more of a lost fight.
Yeah.
Here we go for res. And the issue is that we're kind of just waltzing into their team. And they have even ignoring the Bastion. Let's say the Bastion doesn't exist. There's a
Yeah.
McCree and a
Brig.
Brig and a Reinhardt
Yeah.
like right next to us as
Yeah.
we're trying to walk in. So I think you were kind of identifying, can I go for it? And I think we kind of misidentified there.
Mhm.
If we could go for it, because the answer is no. So notice now that that's 2 deaths, and both of those deaths were caused by misreses, right? Reses they were
Mhm.
kind of forcing when we weren't able to go for them.
Yeah.
I must go where I'm.
No one can hide from my sight.
It's what?
Since I'm thinking of it, just also watch over. I'm noticing a little bit of overhealing. Not anything extreme, but just a little bit of it. So just note that that's still something to continue to just break the habit of. It's not
Yeah.
really a massive thing in comparison to anything else we've discussed, but still a thing.
Yeah. No, I have been trying to do it a little bit less.
Mm.
Like in here, I felt like our, and then I managed to jump back. Oh.
Probably whip out your pistol.
About my pistol.
Hmm.
Well,
What?
I was worried because I knew that she was going to mech, and I thought, if I'm going to whip out my pistol, me and Anna are both going to die, but I think I end up dying
Okay.
here anyway.
How does whipping out your pistol guarantee you die?
Because I thought, like, in that second that I'm taking out the pistol, I was worried that in that time I would already be gone.
Okay, well, note that whipping out your pistol doesn't lower your movement speed at all, so you
Mm.
would be able to back up and whip out your pistol at the same time, right? So you can here be backing up, whipping out your pistol as soon as you see Diva land right next to you, whip out your pistol, and you could probably melt the Diva as she's remeching, right? Because look at when she's remeching, she stands still for this long period of time, and then that means that you're able to just melt her in the head while she's remeching, and your Ana also got in damage as well. So that'd probably be decently easy kill to go for if you're whipping out your pistol.
You needed a doctor? You should be at peak performance levels.
Yeah. Another risky rest.
Yeah.
You
So
should be
now
at
that's
peak
that's
performance
our
levels.
third death, and our third
Yeah.
death has been for a res,
Because
right?
of the rest.
Yeah. So notice that when we're doing it, couple
The
things.
entire team is right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so right now it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. So on it, like we get off the res, that's it's still winnable. This is still a winnable fight. But the issue is that we're doing it when a diva's on top of us, so, and a brig is right next to us, so we just want to make sure that we're watching the scenario to see, like, can I actually do it? And a lot of the times here it's been, no, you can't do it.
Damage boost engaged. I've got you.
Oh, there's a res we can do.
This is not your time.
Thank you.
You get it?
Let up on them.
What is that
Your
melody?
support has arrived.
Okay, nice. You guys won.
Time to raise my BPM.
Let's get you back out there. Heroes never.
Get through this.
So here, what can we do to stop from being shattered? Or otherwise, another way to ask that question is, why do we get shattered?
Because we're right in the middle of our
Let's
team,
get you.
where I could be a little bit more back, maybe.
Sure, I think you're fine, though, positional-wise, to be on the side of the fight, because here this is the kind of the side. We're not kind of on top of them. If they're coming from main, then we're on the side. But if they're coming from the right, then we are in the front, right? So what here would be the reason why we get shattered? I can give you a couple, once again, reasons why people typically die, or let's say this, equate this to a death. It's something that could easily lead to a death. I don't know how we don't die because he kills other people and we were in front. Things that lead to death are poor positioning, lack of awareness, misuse of abilities, and additionally overaggression.
Mhm.
So in this situation, are you misusing abilities?
No.
Like with the reses we've seen? No. Okay, are you
No.
being overaggressive as of the moment?
No.
Okay.
So it's just awareness.
Yeah, it's just awareness, right?
Yeah.
So if you do know Reinhardt's there, what can you therefore do?
Move.
Move. Yeah, exactly, right? Anywhere, right? You can go to Hog, you can fly off
I
of
don't
these
think
guys.
I don't think I was aware though that he was there.
And that's that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I completely missed it.
hmm Yep. So awareness,
Oh.
right? Keeping your ears open is the big thing here, right? Keep listening for footsteps and gunshots and abilities and ultimates. Reinhardt has very big clunky footsteps, right? He goes
Yeah.
clunk, 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 clunk. So make sure you're keeping your ears open for those, and then we don't get
Let's you
shattered.
back out there.
We get potentially even Valk, and then that can even get us up in the air above it. He walks past us. That's why we don't die.
Just ignores.
Heroes never die.
Administered.
Nice res.
Healing stream engaged.
Oh, but they die anyways. All right.
Powered up. They're all over me. Where does it hurt?
Nice. I like that
I will
movement.
put work of them.
Power grows stronger.
Oh, damage boost
The
engaged.
payload is approaching its destination.
Let's get you back out there.
Okay, nice.
Time. You should be at peak performance levels.
In this, I think I told the Roadhog that I was a little bit too far away. So this is this is what I mean. I feel like our team was starting to
Let's get you back out there.
fall apart. Like not just me, but everyone.
Okay, here
Let me get you
we're a
back.
little far back, right? Probably want to be like over on the right side, like with our Bastion. So, like for example, here, right? Once again, in the spirit of here, we can't see Ana, we can't see Bastion. Okay, what if we're positioning right here? Where now, if we position right here, well, we can see these guys, that guy, this, we peek, this guy, these guys, right? This positioning just opens up for us our ability to see everybody, right? So line of sight, being able to see people, but also being able to easily reach people, right? This puts us in the middle of everybody to where it takes us half a second to touch anybody on our team. Whereas here, Bastion starts getting shot at, right? People start shooting at Bastion, he gets low, and we have to take 1, 2, 3 seconds to get over to him. And in that time, he could potentially be dead.
Let's get you back out there.
Remaining.
Let's take this home.
And then, oh, I remember this now. Because everyone died, I didn't know what to do, and I ended up just like walking
Dragon consume you.
over here. I
Um,
just completely panicked, and I was like, oh shit, because everyone died in our team. And I'm like, oh well, I can walk back to the main, but I will die anyway.
yeah.
So
At this point, right, you just gotta watch it like where cart's at. If everyone just died, it's just stall time, right? They're about to cap, so you can walk back into them, whip out the pistol.
mhm.
Yeah, if you're 5% away from ult, pop ult as soon as you get it, and then try to stall as long as possible. And that's about it.
Okay.
Fight's already lost. That's a situation where it's like a 90% you lose, 95% chance you lose, but maybe you can still stall it out a little bit
Oh, just a little bit.
yeah.
Okay.
Take a deep
Okay.
breath.
The payload.
Come out of
Let's
spawn.
achieve our
Okay.
objectives.
Who's your number one pocket target here in this game?
Soldier.
Okay, and we're coming out of spawn on
Genji.
right, so probably want to be on the soldier right now.
Observe the
Where
barrier.
does it hurt?
Oh, that's unfortunate. Where is soldier at the moment? He's right next to us, right? So if if you just turn an inch, then we're on top of soldier. So just being aware of like who should we be on. Okay, and then additionally here, probably don't we want to be on the Genji. We're not on Genji soon enough there.
Damage boost engaged. Healing stream engaged.
Okay, pocketing tanks a little bit, Reinhardt a little bit too much there.
Come here and get refreshed. I'm escorting the payload. Let's keep it moving.
It's like I always get so paranoid on this bridge because I feel like there's always going to be someone booping you off of it. Like I have been booped so many times by Hammonds and Lucios and Briggs and Doomfists. It's like just crossing that bridge gives me PTSD now.
Yeah, two things. Firstly, just stay a little bit towards the middle. Two, even if somebody boops you, as long as you have your beam on someone, shouldn't matter at all because then you can just fly right out. So just keep a beam on somebody, stay towards the middle, and you should be good.
Okay. It's the same on the is it Lijiang map where there's that one.
Lijiang Gardens, yeah.
Yes, that's the one. It's like
Mhm.
those bridges. Oh my god.
Same thing. If you have a beam on somebody, it is just not. They're not capable of booping you off because then you just fly back, and then it's a waste of their boop.
Ay.
Okay.
Let me get you patched.
So, remember, default targets are when there's
Mhm.
nothing else to do. Here, we can see, I think we're swapping off of our default targets a little bit much, right? So here, notice our on soldier, we're doing what we should be doing. Note that we're a little bit far back, because who can't we see at the moment?
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt. So we're a little bit far back. Probably want to be just a little bit closer so we can swap to Reinhardt if
Mm.
needed. Right, but watch how we swap to our Genji. Here, when Genji's full HP and Sigma's full HP and Reinhardt's not really in danger at the moment, so we probably should still be on Soldier. We
Yeah.
swap over to Reinhardt once again. Reinhardt's not in need of your healing at the moment.
Yeah.
He's down 50 HP, right? That's not 50
Nothing
HP.
to
It's
worry about. Yeah.
Ana can heal 50 HP, and then you pocket the DPS, which will get you the most value. And then we swap back to Soldier, and then we swap off of Soldier to Sigma, who once again is down 50 HP, and then the Genji, who's down 10 HP. So we're swapping around from target to target to target. When pocketing Soldier probably would just be the better option.
Yeah.
You needed a doctor?
Now Reinhardt's this is a little bit different. Now Reinhardt is well, we probably shouldn't be healing him when he's purple, but now
Yeah.
Reinhardt is
You needed a
much
doctor?
lower than 50 HP. Is he's down 400 HP, a little bit different. That's when you can swap over, heal him up, right? And then now he's back to full. You can swap back to Soldier whenever you get the chance, or the Genji.
You should be at peak performance level.
This will help.
Okay, notice how we're still on the Reinhardt a little bit there after he was
I
full.
think
Be without
I
you.
think in that one I went to Reinhardt because he was fighting the enemy Reinhardt, and I wanted to boost him to help him win the Reinhardt battle, basically. Like that's sometimes or that's something that I do quite often if I see like Reinhardt's brawling, and I'm not sure if I should be doing that or if I should just focus on boosting the DPS.
Right. Who is right as of the current moment?
Mm-hmm.
Reinhardt's, swinging on Reinhardt, right? Who is Soldier looking at the moment?
The Reinhardt as well.
Okay, who does more damage, Soldier or Reinhardt?
Soldier.
Okay, so who is gonna get more value out of a damage boost, Soldier or Reinhardt?
Soldier.
All right,
Soldier.
so if Soldier is in Narnia over here, or
Mhm.
if he is, not looking at the person you want to be killing, right? If
Mhm.
Soldier is looking down this way for some reason, or I mean,
Okay.
honestly, looking down that way would be just as good because there's a McCree right there,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe he's just if you think Soldier's just looking at the wrong target,
Mhm.
then that's a situation where sure, go ahead and damage with the Reinhardt. So it's situational, but in
Yeah.
this situational, still should be on Soldier, pretty much,
Okay.
right? So I'm not saying that you should never be damage boosting Reinhardt ever. I'm saying as of
Okay.
the current moment, Soldier would be better. Now let's take that scenario again. Okay, Soldier versus Reinhardt. Grav, who does more damage, Soldier or Reinhardt?
Soldier.
No. Okay, because Reinhardt does cleave damage, so he's hitting every single person in the Grav all at once. Soldier can only hit one target.
Oh yes,
Right.
yes, yes,
Mm.
yes. Of course, yes, yes, yes,
Okay,
yes. I
Shatter,
get.
same thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He's hitting everybody. So in that situation, it's a little bit different. Um,
Mhm.
Once again, so it's situational. Here, the situation probably is be on Soldier, right? And now Reinhardt's low, heal up Reinhardt, right? It's just it's swapping between people based off of what's going on with your surroundings.
I'm here. Damage amplified. Ultimate unleashed. Valkyrie is ready.
Exposing the payload.
Okay, I like that we're going Stigma the Genji. We swapped to Reinhardt because we see that he's shattering, but the issue is that we see Genji is he just pressed blade and we see that he's pushing forwards and we're not really looking at him. We're also looking like low to the ground. We're kind of looking at the floor. So here I would probably say stick with the Genji. If you hear that says I'm going for blade and then he's jumping up above them, probably indicates he's going for blade, right? In the same way that if Soldier says I'm going for visor and then runs up to the high ground and he's standing right here, he's probably about to visor, right?
Mhm.
So their positioning is gonna
Mhm.
indicate that a little bit. So here, if we're with the Genji, does he miss going? I think he misses going over the rooftops on accident. But if we're with Genji, then we're going to be able to actually damage boost him, which is gonna be better than Reinhardt here.
Damage boost engaged.
In a situation where both of your DPS ult around the same time, like if it's like a Genji soldier,
Mhm.
which one should I focus? Blue beaming?
Um,
Is it just the one that I feel like is doing more damage in the game overall? Or
everything and every question is situational, right?
okay.
I mean, I wouldn't really do who's doing it unless you see the Genji's gone in and died with Nano Blade again and again and again and again and again. But I wouldn't really because usually Visor and Genji Blade are both easier ults to be landing. I guess Genji Blade's a little bit skillful, right? But um, it's not incredibly difficult to get value out of it, right? So when it comes to it, it's pretty much who's in a better position, right? Is Genji who's getting Nano Boost, right? If Soldier's
Mhm.
getting Nano Boost, maybe Soldier's the better target. If Genji's getting Nano Boost, then maybe Genji's the better target. Generally speaking, which is the higher powered ultimate, Blade or Visor?
Well, wouldn't it be Blade because it's auto aim?
Yeah, Blade. Oh, Blade is not auto aim.
No, not not
But you
not
mean
not
Visor?
Blade. Visor. Sorry, visor. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Generally if you're doing a flat visor versus a flat blade, flat visor is more powerful. But if you're
Mhm.
comboing it with something such as an Ana Boost,
Mhm.
then that means that blade is the better ultimate. It
Okay.
is more powerful than visor. Now, not by a ton. Talking like if out of 100, it's like blade is 95 and visor is like 85. Right? It's like it's just a little bit better. right? And then if you damage boost, and then also you can think, okay, who's in a better position? Genji might be across the map. Soldier might have shields in his face, right? Or Soldier might be on a flank. So it's going to depend who's in a better position to actually use the damage, who's getting nanoed, because whoever's getting nanoed is probably, if Soldier's nanoed, well then that now makes Visor the better ultimate to pocket than Blade, right? Because he's gonna shred through anything that he pockets. So there's a couple things to keep in mind while you're
And
doing it.
Nano and Blue Beam, they do stack up. It
Yes,
doesn't like
it
cap
does. It
anywhere.
does stack. So
Okay.
with a Genji, right? So this is important information to know. With a Genji, how many slashes and dashes does it take for him to kill somebody without any damage boosts? A squishy target, 200 HP.
I genuinely do not know anything about
Mm,
Genji. I have
yeah,
maybe like 5 minutes on
yeah. It
on Mystery
okay.
Heroes.
This is important. Yeah, this is just really important to know because it dictates what you should be doing in that situation. Okay, so it takes him 2 slashes. So slash slash squishy target's dead. Okay, it does not matter if he adds in a dash or not, unless you're talking about somebody who has more HP. Okay,
Okay.
now let's say you give him a nano boost, or you give him a damage boost. Either or. What does that change it to?
Well, I would imagine it only takes one then.
No, not
Or
one
no?
slash. It takes him 1/1 dash. Okay,
Okay.
so that is so much better because when it takes 1/1 dash, he now doesn't in his blade he only gets six total slashes. Okay,
Okay.
this speeds up his entire blade, and the faster his blade goes, the more likely he is to actually get kills because people have less time to run away, they have less time to shoot him, they have less. He's gonna be able to catch up to people sooner. So this allows him to do a combo where he does slash dash the next person and he gets a kill. Slash dash the next person and he gets the kill. Or he can do it the opposite way where he does dash slash dash slash dash slash, right, and he gets the kill. It speeds it up so much more. So you want to damage boost Genji anytime he's ever going for blade. Okay, now that's either or nano or damage boost. What happens if you give him both at the same time?
Well, does it just take the one then?
Yes, then it just takes the one. So why would it be better to just take the one?
He can go for a team kill. I don't know.
That means when he's able to go for one, now he's
Uh-huh.
able to go through immense amount of healing. So he would be able to one tap through trance. Okay,
Uh-huh.
he's
Oh.
able to additionally, right? He's able to again speed up the blade even further. He's able to go even faster because now he doesn't have to try to hit it. What if he misses a dash, right? If he misses a dash, then he has to slash someone twice. But now he can just one tap them, so it doesn't even matter if he lands the dash. It speeds it up him even faster. It gives him more room for error, right? So
Okay.
you want to be damage boosting a Genji anytime he's ulting, pretty much,
Okay.
unless he's like off in Narnia and there's nothing, again, in
Yeah.
situation. Most of the time,
Okay.
aside from other situations.
Okay.
Heroes never die.
What am I pausing on here?
I think the reason why I Valk there was because Genji was critical, and I didn't feel like I could get to him, just from like Guardian Angel. So I thought if I Valk, I can save him, and then at the same time help with the team fight there.
Okay, what's the status of the team fight currently?
Uh, it's 6 versus 3, 4,
6 versus 1.
1. Oh, yes.
Does McCree really count there?
No.
No. So 1, 2,
So
3,
I
4, 5,
basically
6.
wasted my Valk there, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Even counting McCree, 6v2, right?
Mhm.
It's just still a one fight. Genji dies, doesn't matter. Still a one fight, right? So here, Valk is just just ends up getting wasted. So here you can see that based off of kill feed. You can also see that just based off of what's in front of you, right? Because there's not many enemies behind us. So what's in front of you can also give you that information. So awareness, right, helps you a lot there. Saves the ult. Alright. And the Genji dies anyways, unfortunately.
The battle continues. Let's keep it moving. Damage increase. I'm on. stream engaged. Where does it hurt? Let's get
Okay,
you back
nice
in the
res.
fight. You should be at peak performance levels.
Okay. Notice our camera a little bit here. We're kind of tunnel visioning on the soldier, looking behind us rather than
You should be
checking
at
the
peak
people behind,
performance
like
levels.
Reinhardt, for example,
You need
who we
a
can maybe be
capsule?
helping keep alive. Oh, watch jumping. You say you might want to crouch because then that puts you. Here we jump up in the air, which makes us more visible. Whereas if we're right here and we crouch, well then I guess if we're like right here and we crouch, well then that might actually put us out of the line of sight possibly.
Hmm.
Healing stream engaged. Taking damage.
Like in here, I think I was trying to tell Reinhardt that we needed
Let me
help
get
in
you
the
patched
back,
up.
but
I could use some
and that he
assistance.
was alone, but he still kept pushing in.
Okay. Um. So that's unfortunate. That happens, right? That will happen. What is your mistake in this instance?
I could use some assistance.
It's Hanu.
Let me
Happened
get
right
you
about
patched
that.
up.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, um, I'll mention it has something to do with ability usage here, right? Go back a second here. Right about now. Okay. Then Monkey dives after us. Monkey does not have
I could use
jump,
some assistance.
and we have the opportunity to do something, and we don't.
I should have gone for Reinhardt in that one.
Um,
Oh no, what?
could. I mean, I think you could here, but he's really far away. Ana can heal him from here. Probably right now we could be resing the Genji, who's right next to us.
I was worried that I would be seen by the McCree ult, that I would die. That's why I was trying to back
Mhm.
away
Can
because
McCree?
I wasn't
Mhm.
like 100% sure where he was.
Mm.
So I thought if I'm going to res in there,
I
I'm just
could
going
use
to end
some
up dying
assistance.
there.
So visual awareness, because here we can see that he's in front of us. So visual awareness of where's McCree. And then even so we see McCree's there. I think we're actually looking at him, and we actually do duck behind cover. So there, it looks like we do know he's there. But then let's say we don't know he's there. Well, then all we have to do is scan. Is he on any of these high grounds? Is he in front of us? If he's not in front of us, then where could he possibly be that he's gonna kill you with it, right? And
Let
then he
me get
also
you patched up.
draws there, I believe, as well. So he actually doesn't ult. So here, if we're being aware of our surroundings, then that means that we'll be able to get the res off on Genji. Because
Mhm.
we just able to see, okay, we are safe for it, and we can go for it.
Okay.
My ultimate is ready.
Where does it hurt?
But is there like any point resing Genji right there because we're so close to our spawn and we were missing most of our team anyway?
So here, going back, right?
Especially when Reinhardt is
I could
so
use some
critical and
assistance.
maybe I could have saved the res to go and get him if he died.
So here, if Reinhardt dies, in the situation, which is a more resable res, Reinhardt or Genji in that situation?
Well, the
Who's more
Genji.
safer? Okay, so you probably wouldn't be able to res. Look at the Zenyatta who's right next to the body, their entire team who's right next to the body. So Reinhardt wouldn't be you wouldn't be capable of resing Reinhardt. We're also
I meant more in a way like if like the rest of us regrouped and we managed to push in and then I could go get Reinhardt before his timer goes off. Like if the Zenyatta and Junkrat had already left the
I still think
indoor
that
area.
that's less plausible of a res
Okay.
than the res on the Genji. Additionally, it would be the question would get back to, okay, then why are you waiting on a res when you have a res right in front of you, right? Now here, your question is, okay, well, why would I res? Okay, we're down people. Well, if you res, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It's a 5v6. Reinhardt dies. 4v6, all right, that's fine. You just regroup. Here in this situation, right, you're thinking, okay, we have close spawns. Well, this still gets Genji back an additional 7 seconds faster, because if Genji has 3 seconds left on his respawn, and then it takes him to get from here to here, it takes him an additional 6 seconds, and that means that you're saving him 9 seconds, right? Which gets him back to the fight faster, which is really what res is all about. It gets your teammates to you sooner. So I would probably res the Genji when it's an easy opportunity, when that's gonna get him back in the fight sooner, when the fight is still maybe winnable if Ana pockets and keeps alive the Reinhardt. Here she's getting nano. I guess she wouldn't maybe want to nano him here, but and this also lets Genji charge up his ultimate sooner as well if he's already 83 and we're going for nano blade soon. So does that all make sense? Any questions on that still?
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Let me get you patched up.
Don't worry, my friends.
Damage increase. Ich kümmere mich dich.
And I wanted to res him there, but his soul fell into
Yeah.
the river.
Heroes never die.
So here, what's it? I'm assuming, because we didn't before know that we should be on Genji, but here notice how we're not. He has blade. We have nano. If we press tab, we see that. You should be pressing tab frequently, once in between every single fight at a minimum. And then here we should probably be up with the Genji, being ready to engage with him, because watch how delayed we are. He goes in, and then we Valk, and then we don't see him, and then we're all the way back here. And in that time, he could be dead, or in that time, that could have already messed up his blade, because people boop him away and he gets messed up, right? So that first second can be really important in the blade, right? So being with him is important there. We also swap off of him to back to our Ana.
Get clear. Mercy in Bereitschaftsdienst.
Right. So, same as per usual. Real quick, last thing. So right there I said you swap off of Genji back to your Ana. Is it possible that through your head you're thinking, why would I let Ana die? Is that something that went through your mind?
Well, I think it was because of like the game where I had the DPS rage at me for not blue beaming them. I thought,
Double kill.
if I can't heal, or like if I shouldn't focus on the tanks, then at least I need to keep the other healer alive, even at the cost of like, I don't know, boosting the
Yeah.
to make sure that at least there's someone who can
Yeah.
heal the tank.
I'm asking, like, really what, like, because I just said the statement. I think you should have been on Genji rather than the Ana there, even though Ana was going to, like, that could have caused the Ana to die, right?
Yeah.
So let me explain that situation to you really quick, and then we'll get into the rest, right? So that is because Genji with your damage boost is likely to kill more than Ana's life is worth. Okay?
Okay.
Because Ana's life is worth 1 life point, right? If you go and damage boost the Genji, then that means that you're going to open up for him getting, like, let's say 2 or 3 kills. That's now worth more than said 1 life point. Right? Let's say Genji gets 1 kill without, or 2 kills without, right? That's now opening up for just more value, because your damage is in the Genji through his ultimate. Now, I don't think it's terrible that you go back for the Ana. I think, honestly, it could go either way. It depends on if, again, it depends on the situation. We didn't really break it down too much. If Genji was near people and the damage boost would have really helped, then damage boost would have really helped. If it wasn't really going to change too much, then probably should have been on Ana. Okay, but that's the explanation behind it. You have to think through which is going to get me more life point value in that situation.
Okay. No, it was also because I think the first time we had a session, was it on Hollywood, where I was ignoring the Doomfist going for our Ana instead of... So, in that situation you told me that I should have been more aware of what Ana was doing and healing them, and I could have kept them alive, but I don't think anyone was
Heroes never die.
ulting
Yeah.
in that point. So
Yep. Once again, it's all situational, right? It's gonna
yeah,
gonna depend on what the heck's going on around you.
yeah,
It's really in that situation. It all comes down to, it is your damage boost going to aid Genji so much so that he's able to get more value than Ana's life is worth, right? And that's the question, right? Like, is you going and staying on Genji going to be more valuable than you going and healing your Ana? Right? That's the choice you gotta make, and I think it depends upon the situation. There, honestly, it could go maybe go either way. But I think it's possible that damage juice in the Genji could have been better.
okay.
All right, so wrap up really quick. I'll get you your notes, so you shouldn't. We don't have to do a really long review. Review, wrap up, main points. Okay, ability usage. Rez got us killed a couple times at the start. We used, and that was the main. And then we also didn't go for it maybe once or twice, and we could have. So paying attention to that. Guardian Angel, not too many issues. I don't really didn't really see a ton, right? So res usage, probably medium priority for you to work on. Ult usage, make sure you're not using it in won or lost fights, and then that's pretty much it. Make sure that you're, I guess just the rest of that just comes down to a little bit of beaming. Sometimes we're beaming wrong with it, but that's about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So overall, low to medium priority. Then moving on, beam usage, make sure you're not overhealing. Just watching that very, very minor thing. Minor overhealing. Um, Minor instances where we are just, either on damages at the wrong timing or more often healing at the wrong timing. And then let's see what else is there in beam usage. Pocket targets, right? Who should you be on? Sometimes we're not defaulting to the right target, or we're just not on our default target when he's right next to us and we don't have a reason to be on anybody else, right? And we're kind of on everybody else. Those situations, about like a lower end of a medium, right? And then position where you can see as many people as possible, right? Line of sight on your teammates, easy accessibility to them if we need to. Pay attention to your teammates and when they need you. Besides that, just keep using cover, right? Don't hover in the middle of the open. I think that's mostly it with positioning, right? Cover and so don't be on the open, or yeah, cover and make sure you can see your teammates easily, right? That's about like a medium, or let's say lower end of medium, right? And then
Okay.
finally, awareness. Pay attention to your health bar. Pay attention to kill feed. Who's winning or losing. Do you recall what are the numbers when it comes to kill feed?
It was.
Pop quiz.
It was if you lost one or blah, blah, blah. It was one or two lost. Oh, hold on, I don't know how to say it. So
Okay.
if you have one or two in either one of the teams, it can go either way, but 2 to 3 is most likely a loss or victory.
Yeah,
Something like that.
you got most of it. It's advantage 1 to 2, advantage versus disadvantage, right?
Yes.
That means that it's just you are winning or losing, but it is not a won or a lost, right? And in those
Yes.
situations, it's still winnable either side, and you just play more passive or aggressive, right? So paying attention to kill feed. No ults in one or lost fights, right? Backing out if we can. If not, let them kill us in a lost fight. Pay attention to tab, pressing between every single fight of the game. That gives you info. What ults do we have? Did they swap characters? Did we swap characters? Pay attention to your team comp. Team comps dictate playstyle. Who should you be damage boosting when? Pay attention to teammates' health bars and their danger levels. When should we be on who? Pay attention to your general surroundings. Look left, look right. Do a quick 360. Don't walk around doing slow pans. Make sure you're not tunnel visioning, right? All of that jazz. Think, can I go for the res, etc. Right? There's a lot of different things that kind of led into that, right? Watch the Ryan. Listen, keep your ears open. Watch the Rhino. He's sneaking up behind us. Right? A lot of situations where awareness was the big thing. Awareness by far has the most stuff in it. Right? This is awareness is like a medium high, right? And the rest were kind of mediums below. So
Okay.
awareness is the big one. There's a lot that goes into it. Now, to put that all in order, number 1, I'm going to say number 1 will go to your
Double kill.
ability usage,
Mhm.
and that is because primarily your ability usage came down to awareness anyways, and then that's
Mhm.
just a nice way to break it down. Break down awareness, since
Okay.
awareness is such a big category, right? If that makes sense. So
And so
Yes.
they
even
go.
though it's middle, I'm putting it as number 1. So work on your ability usage.
Double
The
kill.
res is specifically. Then number 2 is going to be general awareness, thinking of your
Double
surroundings,
kill.
and that's overall the biggest. Number 3 is going to be your
Double kill.
beam usage, 4 positioning, 5 ult usage,
Sadawa
and then
Double
that
kill.
is about it. Any questions?
No, I just feel like uh, I feel like I
Double kill.
backpedaled a little bit in the comp games.
Yeah, I mean that's to be expected though, because you took off a week, right? And that's just what happens when you do that,
Double
because
kill.
rust will develop where you'll start
So
to.
quickly, really?
Yeah, rust
Double
happens
kill.
when it comes to. It happens faster when it comes to physical aim, like aim and muscle memory.
Double kill.
Aim and muscle memory will start to dissipate in the course of a day. Right, you will
Oh
you
god.
will you will literally, like, when you're playing characters that require aim mechanics, right? That will dissipate in a day. So if you go a
An
day without
excellent
playing,
fight.
you're gonna have to basically do a little bit of you're gonna do a hair of back. It's not a ton of backpedaling. It's a hair of backpedaling. So you have to. That's why for characters who need aim, that's why I recommend like warm ups. Right, you warm up before you play. That recovers
Okay.
from the backpedal a little bit, right, and it gets you back
Double
up
kill.
to speed. Now, when it comes to general gameplay, yes, a week is plenty enough time to just get a little bit out of rhythm, right? And then
Oh well.
being a week, stop playing for a week probably takes you like 2 or 3 days to get back in the rhythm. And then you're back up to speed, and then you're back. And it also depends on how much you play, right? If you don't play a ton, then it might take you longer. If you play a ton, then it's like, if you play, for example, if you play like,
You are not looking well.
let's say 3+ hours a day, then it'll probably take you like
Double
2 or 3 days. If you're playing lower than that, then it'll probably take you a little bit longer.
Double kill.
Right, so that's why whenever possible, you want to try to play even just a game a day, right? That sort of idea, and then that helps to keep up the gameplay so that you don't backpedal.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions?
None that I can think of right now.
Alrighty. So